Today's workout is workout number 6 from my Your Mommy Pooch Plan. This workout is going to be one of the more advanced workouts we've done so far in the plan, so make sure you've done 1 through 5 before moving on to this one. We'll continue to heal your diastasis recti and core dysfunction to achieve a flat belly and a strong functional core. All you need is a mat. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to workout 6 from my Your Mommy Pooch workout plan. This workout builds on workouts 1 through 5, so make sure you've done those before moving on to this one. We're gonna start, as we always do, in our supine position on our backs, engaging our transverse abdominis and deep core and pelvic floor by zipping that core in and up, belly button to spine, pressing the low back toward the floor, double bent leg lifts, legs come up, knees stop over the hips, lightly and slowly lower those feet back down. Let's repeat it. Lift and lower. 50 seconds here. Move with control. So by now you're familiar with these movements. We want to focus on improving our technique each time. So we're still going slow. We're still focused on engaging those deep core and pelvic floor muscles, pressing the back toward the floor. Stopping those knees directly over the hips to keep that pressure in the core, the lower abs. And rest. We're gonna move on to a dud bug with those knees over hips again, arms straight to the ceiling. We're gonna extend the front leg and back arm away from the body. Bring it back up, straight to the ceiling with that arm, knee over hip. Repeat it on the other side. So we're moving opposite arm and leg, and then the other side stays still right in the middle. As you extend, press that low back toward the floor, keeping that belly pulled in. Go as low as you can with the leg and the arm without your back lifting. So if you feel your back start to lift right here, that's where you stop, you bring it back in. Alternatively, you can keep the knee bent and move here. But I want you to make sure you carefully bring them back up, stopping the knees over the hips, and that opposite knee is not moving in toward your chest. It's kind of a coordination thing. So if it takes you a few times of doing this one to master that, it's okay, it's challenging. Rest, all right, something a little less mentally difficult here. Legs up to the ceiling, we're gonna do a straight leg, drop to the floor. So starting with that front leg, slowly lower it down. Heel kisses the floor, bring it back up. Opposite leg, slowly lower it down. Again, just like that dead bug, go as low as you can without your back lifting. If that's here, you stop there. Or alternatively, you can bend the knees, and that would be the same thing as a reverse march. And this is one too, if you need to take a few breaths at the top, release that core, re-engage, and then go again. That's a perfectly good option. With any of these exercises, you can always stop, release the core. I'm just giving you options to do as much as you want to in the 50-second interval, but you also have plenty of times to take a break if you need to. Rest. All right, we're moving on to a single leg glute bridge with a leg extension. So we're gonna lift the hips up and we're gonna take the front knee with us, bend, extend, bend, and then just tap the hip, repeat it. Knee stays bent, out, in, and tap. So the knee is directly over your hip, just like we've been doing. And then we press the leg out as we keep the hips lifted. So we want to make sure we're staying stable, hips square to the ceiling, pressing through the back heel. That's going to create core instability, which allows us to work on our core stability. Keeping that belly button pulled in toward the spine. Again, lightly tapping the hip on the floor as we lower down. You don't have to have your palms facing up for this anymore. You can press them down into the floor to help. And relax. We're gonna do the same thing, other side. I love a good glute burn. It makes you really feel like you're doing something. Let's switch. So we lift, extend, bend, and tap. Drive that hip up through your heel, and that's gonna fire that glute. Pulling that belly button in as you lift, to get those deep core and pelvic floor muscles involved. And I'm extending my leg. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight or perfectly 45 degrees, but somewhere in the neighborhood. Just a few more here. Keep driving that hip up. And we're going high with the hips, but not so high to where you feel it in your low back. I'm gonna feel it primarily in that glute, hamstring. And relax. Okay, we're moving on to a bear crawl. And we're gonna keep the hands under shoulders, knees under hips, tuck the toes. We're gonna move just the legs. So front leg goes out and back leg goes out and back. So the arms are just rocking forward and back, shifting the shoulders forward and back, keeping the belly button toward the spine. We're just taking a step in just a few inches. It's not a big movement here. Again, we're not lifting those hands. We're focusing on moving the legs while maintaining core control, belly button to spine, knees just above the floor. And you're gonna feel lots of pressure here. So if you need to, you drop the knees, you reset, you push through those hands and get right back into it when you're ready. We're gonna add the arms in future workouts. So this is kind of our prep move to that full-on bear crawl. But it is still very intense. Lots of pressure in that core, so make sure you can maintain control without seeing that coning or doming or losing control here. All right, shift back for a second. We're gonna move to a hydrant, starting with that right leg. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, lift the right knee, open it up, and then lower it with control. Let's repeat. In, exhale on the way up. So you can release the core at the bottom of this movement. And then as you exhale, belly button towards spine, pull it in. Make sure you're not shifting your weight as you lift that knee. Keep hips square to the floor and make sure you're only lifting the leg as high as you can without dropping into that opposite side. Another great movement for the pelvic floor, those deep core and glute muscles. And release, take a quick heels, hips to heels pose, and then we're gonna move to that other side. Shoulders are feeling it too. All right, shift forward, deep breath in and out. Lift that opposite leg. So you can see I'm facing the same angle, same side, so you can see me from the same angle. And I'm not shifting into that front arm, front hip. Keeping those shoulders over wrists. Hips square to the floor. You're gonna open those hips, obviously, a little bit, but you don't wanna totally, like I said, collapse. And rest. All right, moving on to a clam hip lift. So come onto your forearm. Elbow, hips, and heels are stacked in a line. We're gonna lift the hips up, open the knees, and if you can, stay up rather than dropping the hips. Open and close those knees. Now, this is your highest level option, but if you need to, you open, close, and you tap. Open, close, and tap. Now this one is the one we did, the same move we did in the previous workout, number 5. So I also gave you that option in the workout to keep the hip down. That's a great option if you need to just take a quick rest, but you wanna stay in the work. I'm all for that. If there's ever an opportunity where you can regress the movement, if that means you stay in the work longer, do that rather than stopping altogether. But of course, stopping altogether is perfectly fine because you want to listen to your body. Rest. All right, flip it around. We're gonna do the same thing other side. Again, elbow, hips, and heels are stacked in a line. Elbow under shoulder, lift that waistline. Hips up, open, and close. Again, the highest level options here. You can tap the hips in between the reps or keep the hips down. Whatever You can do the best for 35 seconds now. Again, these long intervals are not just to make you suffer, it's to give you plenty of opportunities to do the movements well and to master that technique. So even if you only do 5 reps, if you're mastering your technique and doing them well, that's better than doing 57 reps and doing them sloppily. So that's why the timed intervals. I don't want you to feel like you have to achieve a certain number. Let's do one more here. And that is the end. 10 minutes. We're more than halfway through the program now. Be sure to stick around for workouts 7 through 10. These last few workouts are really gonna challenge your strength as we continue to achieve a flat belly, stronger core, and lose that mommy pooch. So I hope to see you here for workout number 7.